She did it. And this isn't just a ranking update. This is a historic breakthrough. Because Alexandra Eala is now officially world number 29 on the Women's Tennis Association Tour. Let that settle in. Top 30. On the planet. In one of the most ruthless, unforgiving individual sports in existence. And here's why this hits so differently. This isn't just about tennis. This is about possibility. For decades, the global tennis hierarchy has been dominated by nations with deep systems, massive funding, and generational pipelines, countries like United States, Spain, Czech Republic, and Russia. Players from these nations grow up inside fully built ecosystems, elite academies, sponsorship backing, structured junior pathways. Now contrast that with the Philippines, a country with passion, with talent, but historically without a deep footprint in elite tennis. And yet, here stands Alexandra Eala, breaking through that ceiling. Not symbolically, statistically, officially, undeniably. Because being world number 29 doesn't happen by accident. It means you are consistently beating Grand Slam contenders, top 50 veterans, players forged in the toughest systems in the sport. It means surviving week after week on tour, travel, pressure, expectations, and the constant target on your back. And what makes this even more powerful is how she got here. A young girl leaves home, moves thousands of miles away, steps into the system of the Rafa Nadal Academy, learns, loses, adapts, builds her game brick by brick under the philosophy of Rafael Nadal: resilience, discipline, relentless fight. Now look at the result. She's not just participating anymore. She's competing with and beating the very players the system was designed to produce. That's why this moment resonates beyond rankings. Because for millions of Filipinos, this isn't just top 30 achieved. This is, we belong here. She is proof that geography is not destiny. That talent, when paired with opportunity and obsession, can break through even the most rigid structures in global sport. And the timing? It couldn't be bigger. Right now, women's tennis is undergoing a massive generational shift, with players like Aryna Sabalenka dominating, Elena Rybakina rising, and Iga Swiatek facing pressure. The door isn't just open, it's moving. And Alexandra Eala has stepped right into that moment. But here's the real question now. Is this the peak, or just the beginning? Because if a 20-year-old from the Philippines can break into the top 30, then the idea of top 20, top 10, even Grand Slam contention suddenly doesn't feel impossible anymore. Let's slow this down for a moment, because this part of the story matters. Because the rise of Alexandra Eala to world number 29 didn't happen on a smooth, upward escalator. It was a grind, a real one. There were early round exits, brutal draws, matches where the odds felt stacked beyond reason. There were moments where the rankings slipped, where expectations grew louder, where the weight of an entire nation sat heavily on her shoulders. Because when you carry the flag of the Philippines the way she does, not as a symbol, but as a purpose, every match means more. And yet, she never broke. She bent. She adapted. She recalibrated. She came back stronger. Now she stands at world number 29, not just surviving at the elite level of tennis, but competing, winning, rising. And what that means goes far beyond rankings. For a young girl in Manila, in Cebu, in Davao, picking up a racket and daring to dream, that dream just became more real, more reachable, more possible. For every parent who ever said, "Be realistic," this moment just redefined what realistic means. Because now, the dream isn't crazy. The dream is valid. And with enough discipline, sacrifice, and belief, the dream is achievable. So how did we get here? Because this journey isn't just inspiring, it's instructive. It's a blueprint, a masterclass in long-term development, mental resilience, and navigating pressure at the highest level of sport. And like all great stories, it starts small. Not on the grand stages of Roland Garros or Wimbledon, but with a quiet, stubborn belief. A young girl deciding, no matter the cost, she wanted to be the best in the world. Chapter 1. The origin story. Alexandra Eala was born on May 14, 2005, in Manila, Philippines. Just 20 years old. In tennis terms, that's still the beginning. She didn't come from a traditional tennis superpower. She didn't grow up surrounded by a system built to produce champions. What she had instead was something harder to measure: discipline, support, and an unshakable competitive fire. Because long before the rankings, before the headlines, before the global spotlight, there was just a young girl, a racket in her hand, and a dream that refused to stay small. She did it. She actually did it. Right now, as you're watching this, a young woman from the Philippines, a country that has never produced a top 30 singles player in the open era, has completely shattered that barrier. Alexandra Eala is now officially ranked world number 29 on the WTA Tour. Let that sink in. Number 29 in the world, in one of the most competitive individual sports on the planet. This isn't hype. This isn't projection. This is real. It's earned through years of sacrifice, discipline, and an unshakable belief that she belongs on the biggest stage in tennis. And the reason this moment hits so deeply isn't just about rankings. It's about what Alex represents. She's more than a tennis player. She's proof. Proof that a Filipino athlete can rise to the very top of a global sport. Proof that the system, no matter how stacked against you, can be broken. Proof that the dream is not only possible, it's already happening. She is the answer to every doubt that ever existed. Now think about what world number 29 actually means. This isn't just beating local competition. This is competing against athletes from powerhouse nations like United States, Poland, Spain, Czech Republic, players backed by elite academies, massive funding, and years of structured development. And Alex didn't just survive in that environment. She fought and she won. But let's be real for a second. This journey wasn't smooth. There were early exits. There were brutal draws. There were moments where the rankings slipped. Moments where the pressure of carrying an entire nation felt overwhelming. Because when you carry a flag like Alex does, not as a symbol but as a purpose, every match becomes bigger than tennis. It becomes responsibility. And yet, she never broke. She bent. She adapted. She improved. And she came back stronger every single time. Today, at world number 29, she's not just part of the tour. She's competing. She's winning. She's rising. And her impact goes far beyond the court. For every young girl in Manila, Cebu, or Davao picking up a racket, the dream just became real. For every parent who once said, "Be realistic," the definition of realistic just changed. Now here's where the story gets even more powerful. Because this wasn't luck. This was built step by step. It started with a bold decision to leave home and train at the world-class Rafa Nadal Academy, founded by Rafael Nadal. A place known not for comfort, but for discipline, pressure, and elite standards. Thousands of miles away from home. New culture, new language, new expectations. And instead of fading, she thrived. Then came the breakthrough. In 2022, she captured a junior Grand Slam title at the US Open. That was the moment the world took notice. But junior success is just the beginning. The real challenge? The professional tour. Because on the WTA Tour, nothing is given. You earn everything. Point by point. Match by match. Tournament by tournament. It's a relentless grind across continents, surfaces, and pressure situations where one bad game can cost everything. And this is where Alex separated herself. Not just with talent, but with mindset. Her composure. Her ability to stay calm in chaos. Her willingness to play aggressively under pressure. These aren't just traits. They are weapons. Because in tennis, mental strength isn't optional. It's everything. The difference between top 100s and top 30. And now, at just 20 years old, Alex Eala is entering what many consider the true beginning of a player's prime. Which means one thing. This story. It's just getting started. Alex has that mental edge. And she has proven it again and again when the pressure is at its highest, when the moment demands more than just talent. It demands belief. Chapter 4. The meaning of the Philippine flag. Philippines. There's something that needs to be said clearly. Because in the excitement of rankings, numbers, and tournament results, it often gets overlooked. What Alexandra Eala is doing for the Philippines cannot be measured by statistics alone. The Philippines has always been a nation of passionate sports fans. Basketball, boxing, volleyball. Those are the sports that dominate headlines, conversations, and national pride. Tennis? It has always existed on the edges, respected, appreciated, but never truly at the center. The infrastructure isn't the same. The funding isn't the same. The pathway isn't as clear as it is in Europe or North America. And yet, here is Alex, 20 years old, world number 29, competing and winning against the best players on the planet. Every time she steps on court with a Philippine flag beside her name, something bigger is happening. She's not just playing matches. She's redefining possibility. She's telling every young Filipino athlete, the ceiling you thought existed isn't real. And once that belief changes, everything changes. Chapter 5. The Battlefield, the WTA Tour. To truly understand how big this is, you need context. Women's tennis right now is brutal. This is not an easy era. This is not a transition phase. This is one of the deepest, most competitive periods the sport has ever seen. Gone are the days of one player dominating everything like Serena Williams did for years. Today, the top 30 is stacked. Multiple Grand Slam champions, former world number 1 players, rising stars with explosive, modern games, different countries, different styles, relentless competition. The rallies are faster. The serves are bigger. The margins are razor thin. And in this environment, Alexandra Eala is top 30. That matters. Because this is the deep end. And she's not just surviving in it. She's swimming. Chapter 6. What comes next? Now comes the question everyone is asking. How far can she go? The honest answer? Nobody knows. Because tennis is unpredictable. Injuries happen. Form fluctuates. New rivals emerge. But here's what we do know. The foundation she's built? It's real. This is the foundation of a player who can break into the top 10, compete for Grand Slam titles, potentially become one of the greatest players Asia has ever produced. And that's not hype. That's trajectory. The moment we need to feel. So, let's pause for a second. Really pause. Because moments like this deserve to be felt, not rushed past. A 20-year-old Filipina from Manila, ranked number 29 in the world. She didn't inherit that position. She earned it. By leaving home at a young age, by training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, by winning on the biggest stages, by enduring losses, doubt, pressure, and expectation, every single digit in that ranking? Earned. And that's what makes this story powerful. Because in a world obsessed with shortcuts, Alex Eala is the opposite. She didn't go viral and become great. She became great. And then the world started watching. That's the formula. And it still works. For every dreamer watching, if you're watching this, if you're that kid training when nobody's looking, if you're chasing something people don't understand, listen carefully. Alex Eala was you. Not symbolically. Literally. A kid with a dream most people didn't believe in. And she made it real. Not with luck. With work. Relentless, consistent, courageous work. And here's the scariest part. She's only 20. In tennis, that's just the beginning. The real peak? Still ahead. The strength, the experience, the tactical growth. It's all still coming. World number 29 isn't the destination. It's a signal. A signal that something much bigger is on the way. The beginning. The Philippines waited a long time for this moment. And now that it's here, it deserves to be celebrated. Fully. Loudly. Proudly. Because this isn't just a ranking. It's a breakthrough. It's history. It's a beginning. The dream is real. The dream has a number. World number 29. And it's only just getting started.